She commands one of cable news' biggest stages, firing off conservative commentary to millions every single night. But behind the Fox News desk lies a story of life-threatening illness, family betrayal, and choices that directly contradict her own public positions. From cancer battles to adopting 3 children alone, from sibling warfare to career-ending boycotts, this is the untold story of Laura Ingraham. And trust me, it gets intense. Cancer diagnosis. Let's start with something most viewers never knew. Laura Ingraham almost didn't survive to host the Ingraham Angle. In 2005, at just 41 years old, a routine physical exam changed everything. Doctors discovered a breast mass. The diagnosis? Early-stage invasive ductal carcinoma, one of the most aggressive forms of breast cancer. The timing was brutal. Ingraham had already watched her mother die from lung cancer just years earlier. Now she faced the same killer disease herself. But here's what's remarkable. Ingraham didn't approach this with fear. She underwent 2 surgeries, followed by 6 weeks of intense chemotherapy and radiation. Her final radiation session ended in October 2005. By early 2006, she was reporting live from Baghdad, with her hair still growing back from treatment. In interviews, Ingraham has made something clear. She refuses to be defined by cancer. She doesn't call herself a survivor. She says she lived through it rather than just survived it. The diagnosis brought clarity to her priorities, but she won't let it become her identity. She credits 3 things for her recovery: deep religious faith, close friends and family support, and encouragement from viewers nationwide. But that mother she lost to cancer? That tragedy shaped everything that came next. Mother's death. And Caroline Ingraham died in 1999 after battling lung cancer. For Laura, this wasn't just a loss. It was transformative. She's revealed publicly that watching her mother fight terminal illness was actually harder than facing her own cancer diagnosis. There's something bittersweet in her gratitude that her mother didn't live to see her daughter go through the same nightmare. Her mother instilled values that Ingraham still cites today: honesty, hard work, frugality, humor. She speaks warmly about small memories, handwritten greeting cards, her mother's laughter, as sources of lasting comfort. This loss fundamentally changed how Ingraham views time. She stated that her mother's death taught her not to waste energy on trivial concerns. Instead, treasure the people you love. She often tells others, if your mother is still alive, you're blessed. Don't take that for granted. Brother conflict. But while Ingraham cherished her mother, her relationship with her older brother Curtis, that's become a public war zone. Curtis Ingraham is an openly gay California teacher who has become one of his sister's most vocal critics. And he's not holding back. This family conflict plays out on social media for everyone to see. The core issue? Ideology. Curtis has blasted his sister's conservative commentary, arguing she promotes division. In a 2018 interview, he used shocking language, calling her a monster and claiming she chooses destruction over dialogue. Curtis has made disturbing allegations about their upbringing too, claiming their father held extremist views and was abusive. He suggests this background shaped his sister's current anger and worldview. On Twitter, Curtis positions himself as his sister's fact-checker. He regularly responds to her posts, challenges her positions on immigration, gun violence, and public health, and calls on advertisers to boycott her show. Here's the twist. They weren't always enemies. In 1997, Ingraham wrote movingly about how watching Curtis and his partner handle an AIDS diagnosis with dignity had changed her views on homosexuality. But Curtis claims that as his sister's Fox News career grew, she abandoned those sympathetic views. He's called her previous statements a sham. He's even used terms like racist and Nazi sympathizer to describe her show. Ingraham's response has been measured but firm. She issued a statement calling his attacks false and hurtful, noting that other family members were shocked by his public comments. Gen Z controversy. The brother conflict isn't her only problem. In 2025, Ingraham sparked massive backlash after criticizing Gen Z's life priorities. She discussed polling data showing younger Americans rank marriage and children lower among life goals than previous generations. She questioned why family formation seems less important to them, expressing concern about societal implications of declining marriage and birth rates. Seems reasonable, right? Except here's the problem. Critics immediately called her a hypocrite. Laura Ingraham has never been married. She's 62 years old. She's a single mother who adopted 3 children in her 40s, building her family completely outside traditional marriage. People pointed out that her own life path, prioritizing career success and choosing single motherhood through adoption, is exactly what Gen Z is doing. The contradiction between her commentary and her personal choices went viral. So let's talk about that unconventional family she built. Adoption journey. Despite promoting traditional family values on air, Ingram's personal life tells a very different story. She's never married, keeping that part of her life extremely private. But she has built a family through international adoption. In 2008, she adopted daughter Maria Caroline from Guatemala at age 3. Then she adopted 2 sons from Russia, Michael Dmitry in 2009 and Nikolai Peter in 2011, both as toddlers. Ingram has described adoption as a calling rooted in compassion. She's emphasized that adoption should center on children's needs, not adults' desires or political statements. Her motivation was simple. She wanted to be a mother and provide stable homes for children who needed them, regardless of being unmarried. Balancing a high-profile nightly television show with single parenthood, she's called it her greatest challenge, but also her deepest source of joy. Her daughter Maria is now a young adult, while her sons remain out of the public eye due to Ingram's protective approach. The adoption process itself was brutal. International adoption meant navigating complex bureaucratic systems. Some countries don't allow single parents to adopt. Russia, where she adopted her sons, was actively tightening restrictions at the time. Ingram has been candid. The process had countless setbacks and was emotionally exhausting. As for parenting style, she's strict when it matters. She delays smartphone access until high school, initially giving her kids basic phones for safety only. She maintains nightly family rituals where each child shares something positive from their day. Dating history. So why never married? Ingram has had relationships over the years. She dated fellow conservative Dinesh D'Souza in college. They were even engaged but called it off. In the late 90s, she was briefly linked to liberal commentator Keith Olbermann, an unlikely pairing neither confirmed publicly. The most public relationship came in 2005 when she got engaged to businessman James V. Reyes. They planned a spring wedding. Then came the cancer diagnosis. As Ingram focused on treatment and recovery, the engagement ended. She never pursued marriage again, channeling her energy into career and eventually motherhood through adoption. Major controversies. But Ingram's personal life isn't the only source of controversy. Her professional career has been marked by major scandals. The shut up and dribble incident. In February 2018, Ingram told NBA superstar LeBron James to shut up and dribble after he criticized President Trump. She argued athletes earning millions should stick to sports and keep political opinions to themselves. The backlash was immediate and fierce. LeBron responded publicly, stating he wouldn't limit his voice to athletics and asserting his significance to society. The hashtag we will not shut up and dribble trended worldwide. Critics called it racially insensitive, coded language telling black athletes to stay in their lane rather than speak on national affairs. The Parkland Survivor controversy. The biggest advertiser boycott hit in 2018 after Ingram mocked Parkland shooting survivor David Hogg on social media, commenting on his college rejections. Hogg urged followers to contact her advertisers. Within days, major companies pulled their support. About 27 sponsors withdrew, and advertising rates plummeted. Ingram apologized, but Hogg suggested she only did so because of financial consequences, not genuine remorse. Immigration commentary. Critics have also accused Ingram of promoting rhetoric echoing the Great Replacement theory, a far-right conspiracy about white populations being deliberately replaced through immigration. She's warned about demographic transformations happening without public consent, used terms like invasion for immigration, and suggested political opponents aim to replace existing voters with immigrants. Watchdog groups have flagged this language as going beyond demographic observation into white nationalist talking points. From surviving cancer to building a family alone, from public sibling warfare to career-threatening boycotts, Laura Ingram's real life is far more complicated than her on-air persona. The contradictions are striking. She criticizes Gen Z for avoiding marriage while she's never married herself. She promotes traditional families while raising 3 adopted children as a single mother. She tells athletes to stay quiet while building a career on outspoken commentary. Whether you see her as a principled conservative voice or a controversial provocateur, one thing is clear. The woman behind the Fox News desk has lived a story filled with resilience, contradiction, and ongoing battles, both personal and political. What surprised you most about Laura Ingram's story? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And if you want more deep dives into the lives of public figures, hit that subscribe button. See you in the next one.